A stereotype is a generalized belief about a particular group or class of people. The use of stereotypes is a way in which most humans think in our social world, since they reduce the amount of thinking and analyzing we have to do when we meet a new person. For example, when people go to ask for a job in our country, normally the boss asks them from which school they come from, and they make prejudice from there, because of the stereotype the school or university has, based on its popularity. Another stereotype is that men are usually good at sports. They are also seen as tough, that they like cars, they're stronger and more aggressive, and they take short time to shower. While girls, they like pink, they take hours to shower, they like makeup, and they don't drive well. Also, a common stereotype we're now used to is that all Muslims are terrorists, and it makes people avoid being near them because of the fear of being attacked by them.
Prejudice is an unjustified or incorrect attitude or opinion towards an individual or a social group which is based on a stereotype. An example could be that when people look at a tattooed person, you think that he or she is a killer or a criminal, and you don't want to hang out with them or go near them. Also, if you're walking alone in the street at night and you see a bunch of men together, you will think that they have bad intentions, so you stay away. Instead, if you see a woman, you normally or even want to help her. A prejudiced person may not act on their attitude. Therefore, someone can be prejudiced towards a certain groups, but not discriminate against them.
Discrimination is the behavior or actions, usually negative, towards an individual or group of people, especially on basis of sex, race, social class, etc. An example of discrimination can be when a tattooed and pierced person doesn't get a job even though he or she has many skills and the capacity to work just as good as someone who doesn't have tattoos or piercings. Only because tattoos and piercings are seen as a taboo and as something a criminal or someone that has no education will have. Another situation can be of the discrimination of physical appearances. For example, excluding or bullying people that have certain physical differences, like being very tiny or very tall, fat or skinny, and having a darker or lighter skin tone than a group of people. The discrimination of certain disabilities someone can have, for example, when an invalid doesn't get a job because people think they won't develop as well as others just because to their disability.
Racism is the hatred from one person to another, or the belief that one person is less than human based on skin color, language, customs, place of birth, or any other factor that it supposedly reveals the nature of the person. It has influenced wars, slavery, and the creation of nations. An example of this can be when people say that all Africans and Negroes are used for slavery and they don't have a life with dignity. Another situation is, for example, nowadays with Donald Trump, that he says that all Latinos are rapists, illegals, criminals, and the worst part is that many Americans are believing that. Also, Chinese people are discriminated because of their hygiene, way of eating, and the quantity of individuals that exist throughout the world. Xenophobia is a phobic attitude towards foreigners or strangers or even of the unknown. Racism in general is described as a form of xenophobia. Some of the examples that we have are Ku Klux Klan, the war between Germans and Jews, and North Korea against South Korea.